All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Driveway Engineer. I'm JR. As you just saw, we're working on the turbo truck and working on these Voodoo Rangers. Today I'm working on the wiring, and I want to go over a couple mods that you should do, or you can do if you're following me. One is to get the intake air temperature sensor out of the mass airflow harness, which is this here, that I've already kind of deloomed. If you look really carefully, and I quit weaving this thing around like I'm already drunk when I'm not, I've only had 7 beers. The first two wires are black and brown and tan, whatever, taupe, I don't fucking know. If you're not my wife, they're black and brown. So those are what actually literally goes to the sensor. This is the sensor, you see, black and brown. You hook them up, same, no big deal. As you saw, I ground out the evap port and pounded my intake air temperature sensor in. That's from a S10 Jimmy Blazer, whatever, 4.3 liter stupid thingy. You can get them from like any 3800 car, you can get them from Grand Prix, Grand Ams, Monte Carlos, all the things that were race cars 10 years ago that are clogging up the junkyard have those. So that's it. You can ignore the rest of the mass airflow sensor if you're following along doing what I'm doing, because I'm going speed density. So the next thing to do is the Manifold absolute pressure sensor, the MAP sensor, which is this right here. What I used to do, what I have here is an old, what they call a Brit style. This is like a Grand National 3-bar MAP sensor, and then it comes with they come with a pigtail, and you just wire them like from the clip and the clip on the harness. Sorry. So you would just clip that off and wire them same, like see how the left to right, and that'll work. Another thing that I found out recently, one of my viewers told me, is that there's a Duramax sensor that just drops into the intake and is a 3.3 bar sensor and works with the harness. I'm not going to use it because I don't have it. I have this. But you probably should if you're starting with nothing. It seems easier to me. Next up, for me, and possibly you, I pulled this harness so I can kind of show you. I had flex injectors in this. They have a little doohickey that looks like that. From Michigan Motorsports, I was gonna change all the plugs, and you can get them from like any Jeep, Dodge Ram, Magnum 5.2, 5.9, all have EV1 connectors. LT1 cars have EV1 connectors. But I didn't want to go through and rewire them all. So for 14 bucks from Michigan Motorsports, I got these little doohickeys that will turn these plugs into EV1 plugs. If you have a truck injector, you probably have what they call a multi-tech. And there's adapters for those, or you can buy your injectors with multi-tech or whatever. But for me, these just plug in here, and for 14 bucks, I kind of have a hard time wanting to go through the entire harness and redo it. So they just push in like that. You're done, the end. For me, this little port right here, I'm just gonna break that off with a pair of pliers. I'm gonna run it to my brick sensor with a little piece of vacuum hose, and it's no big deal. And that one's just gonna stay right there in the intake. Unless I decide to take it off and shave it, which, you know, kind of, I've come this far, why not shave it? I don't really know. We'll see. I don't really care. So, you know, there's that. Look at my engine. I spent all that time paint. Oh yeah, you can't see it because it's buried. So yeah. The last thing I want to show you guys, the only other wiring modification that I have to do is add a content sensor, which you may or may not have to do depending on if you want to run an E85. That's really simple. I don't have mine. I don't know where the hell it is. I know that the minute I order one, I'll find it. I know how the best way to find it is just order a new one. But eventually I will. It's not really, I'm still like 2 months away from wanting to actually take this thing outside So, you know, I don't really care. But anyway, that's just power, ground, and a signal wire to the PCM. It's one wire. And I'll put on the screen which pin and which connector it goes to on a blue-green connector like mine. The last thing to show you is your injectors. If you're, again, if you're running decaps or whatever, this doesn't really pertain to you, but if you're doing exactly what I'm doing, then it will. Oh, hallelujah. I was missing one adapter, and I hoped that I'd put it on an injector, but who knows. So I have this sitting out here on my Dodge, my fuel rail. If you look at, that's why I have it sitting out here on my Dodge. So you can see that these injectors are going to be taller than stock. And what you need, one way or another, to make that work is a 1/4 inch spacer. You can stack washers. People go to the Home Depot and get PEX, little PEX pieces. But you need to somehow space this up, space these little tabs up, so that when you bolt it down, they don't bend over and break, and they actually hold it firmly in place. This is my fuel pressure regulator. This is a stock return setup. I'll have a link to these fittings in the description, but I'm not going to do anything with this. This is already boost referenced. The only two things I'm going to do to the fuel system are add a filter and a content sensor. And I probably don't have enough pump, but that's okay. I'll deal with that. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to throw this crap back together and drink 7 more beers. So thanks for watching, guys. And I hope this helps with your little wiring mods that you have to do. And we'll see you next time on the Driveway Engineer. The next thing you see will be the intercooler, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys.